Hello and welcome to Netlearn 360. In this video, I want to solve a problem to illustrate the parallelogram law of vector addition or force addition. Okay, so let's read the problem together. Alright, so determine the magnitude of the resultant force. Alright, in other words, we should find the resultant force acting on the screw eye and then its direction measured clockwise from the x-axis. So this is the x-axis. Alright, we are supposed to find the resultant force of these two forces. Then I want to use parallelogram method in this example with you. Alright, so let's see how it is done. So I have this x-axis right here. Now I have the screw eye here at this point. I have a force of 6 kilonewtons. So I have a force of 6 kilonewtons in this direction. And the angle here is 60 degrees. Then I have a force of 2 kilonewtons. And the angle it makes is 45 with respect to the x-axis. 2 kilonewtons. So now if I want to use the parallelogram method, then what I will do is that I will actually draw parallel to the 6 I already have. Alright. So this is also going to be 6 kilonewton. Then I'll close it by drawing this parallel side to the 2 kilonewtons. Okay. So that is the 2 kilonewtons right here. At this point, the resultant is going to be the diagonal. Alright, so the resultant is going to be this diagonal right here. Alright, so that's all. The rest is trigonometry. Now, how do I solve this problem? This is the parallelogram, but I need to look at the angles and then I will apply the cosine and the sine rule. Okay, so at this point, if this angle is 60 and this is 45, what should be this angle? Alright, so let's take our calculators. We know that the angles acting at a point sum up to, on a straight line, sum up to 180. And so it's going to be 180 minus the sum of what we have, which is 60 plus 45. And so the angle right there is going to be 75. So this angle right here is going to be 75. Interestingly, what this means is that if I try to extend 6 kilonewtons in this direction, so if I try to extend 6 kilonewtons, then I'm going to get this angle. Clearly speaking, these two angles are corresponding. And so I'm expecting that if 6 kilonewton is making an angle of 75 with the 2, then if I try to extend 6 kilonewtons, I'm still going to get 75 right here. So what this means that this angle right here is going to be 75. Therefore, the angle here must be 180 minus 75, which is going to be 1. So 180. Alright, 180 minus 75. So it means this angle right here is 105. Okay, now using the cosine rule, since I have the angles I need, using the cosine rule, I can say that the square of the resultant I want, which is r squared, should be equal to 2 squared plus 6 squared minus 2 times 2 and 6 cosine the angle opposite to the resultant, which is 105. And so my resultant r is going to be the square root of 2 squared, so 2 squared plus 6 squared, okay, minus 2 times 6 cosine 105. Okay, now I'm going to get 6.7979. So let's say 6.80. So R is 6.80 kilonewtons. So that's the resultant. Now if I'm interested in the angle that this makes with the x-axis, we said clockwise. So clockwise means I have to measure the angle right away from all this way here. Okay. Now it must be noted that the 75 is not this small angle. The 75 is from here all the way up to here. So what I will do is that I will try and make sure that I know that this angle right here is 45. And so if I want the angle, so let's say that, okay, so this is no more, so the 75 is the total angle right here. So this is the 75. Now I want this small angle here. Let me call it, say, alpha. Alright. So using the sine rule, this is the cosine rule. Using the sine rule, then I can say that sine alpha divided by the side opposite to alpha, which is 6, should be equal to sine 105. As a matter of fact, this side, this angle is also going to be 105. This is a property of a parallelogram. Opposite angles are equal. Okay. So sine 105 divided by r. Now I know r as 6.80. So what then is alpha? Alpha is nothing but the sine inverse of 6 sine 105 divided by 6.80. Alright. And then what is alpha? So alpha is going to be, let's take our calculators. Again, I'm going to do sine inverse of 6 sine 105. Then I'll divide by 6.80. Alright. So 58.461. 58.461. Alright, but I'm not interested in alpha. I want to look at the total angle the resultant makes. So I'm going to add 45 to alpha. And so it's going to be, so the angle that I want is going to be 45 plus 58.461, which is nothing but, so I'll just add 45 to it, 103.461. 103.461. Okay, so that is the resultant and the angle it makes with the x. You can also use resolution method as well, but in this problem I use the parallelogram law. Thank you for watching.